Hello, it is Lily for Podcast. So we're starting off with this YouTube series, and then a few weeks or a month so in, we're gonna switch to YouTube and Spotify and like other podcast apps. But for starters of the Pop Punk podcast, today we have my little sister, the only non-artist I've talked to, Gracie. Okay.
The only non-artist you talk to goes crazy.
Because it's funny that you're on an art podcast. The point of this podcast was to talk to people about art and the meaning of art and mediums of art and how it affects the world. And we have a consumer of art right here.
I'm a consumer.
And we're going to talk to her about her experience and her stories and her thoughts on art and music and all that fun stuff.
Yes.
Oh, and we're going to talk about our tattoos.
Yes.
We're going to talk about music, art, tattoos today. Which is all art, technically.
Yes. And even, I was going to ask Lily a question about a book. And I think books are art, right?
Yeah.
Media.
Yeah. Alright, we'll start with art museums.
Oh my god.
Why do you feel that you don't belong in art museums?
I don't belong in art museums because I always step over the line and the security guards just watch me. It's like they know I'm not supposed to be there and they don't stop. Not like they're always looking at me.
It's because you're very suspicious.
I think I look suspicious a lot of the time and I don't mean to, but it's just because when I'm by myself especially, I definitely look fucking suspicious because I'm just walking.
Yeah, you're always looking around.
Because that's how you don't get fucking kidnapped and or stabbed. So like,
fair enough,
that's my goal.
So they're suspicious.
Yeah, so I always step over the line and then they're like, oh, no, don't touch. I'm like, girl, I'm not gonna touch it.
So the topic of security guards in art museums actually brought something to my brain.
Yeah.
You were a security guard at a music venue.
I was.
And we're talking about our shows together in high school. So let's segue with this music venue you used to work at.
So I worked at Stage AE, which is a smaller venue.
Mm-hmm.
And then I worked the stadiums and the arenas. And I would say probably my favorite was the smaller venue because I got to like sit backstage more often and see like
green room type vibes.
And like it was more of my favorite bands, whereas like the big stars that were coming to play, I didn't know them as much. But I would say like my favorite people who I got to see was Wallows. Because I was just sitting, like, and I wasn't even really backstage. I was, like, in this side entrance thing. But the stage was right there. And so I was just sitting there, and then all of a sudden, like, two curly-headed men in their striped shirts walked past me. And I was like, because they didn't say hi or anything.
They're on the good end of the spectrum of the epidemic of skinny white males in music.
Yeah, they're on the good end. And I think, like, no, maybe I shouldn't say that. But, no, so that was probably the best one. And then the most alarming one was Machine Gun Kelly. First of all, he has a dressing room. It was at a arena. So he has this whole big dressing room area. He's getting changed in the hallway. The hallway where workers are supposed to be walking. So I'm trying to get to my damn post, to my shift. And he's just changing in the hallway. Half-naked Machine Gun Kelly. Not a sight you want to see.
Not a sight you want to see. Those tattoos don't make it better.
Nope, they don't help. As do most of ours. Hey, ours don't help either. But we have them. So I can't hate on. I can't hate on.
Watch me take a good thing. Being in a very small town in rural Massachusetts, but when people say, what type of music do you listen to? Oh, I like some punk, some like, alternative stuff. They go, oh, you're gonna love this song. What do they put on? Machine Gun Kelly. They can fuck it all up and whatnot. So, you worked shows, but your love for shows started back in the day.
Back in the day.
In high school, we started going to our little bands.
The little bands, the smaller venues. Like
smaller Boston venues.
Boston.
We used to crowd surf a lot at the Sinclair.
Yes, that was the first time I crowd surfed, I think, was at the Sinclair. Or was it that place in Rhode Island? I don't know.
No, it's a place in Rhode Island. That's when I crowd surfed for the first time too, I think. Or stage dove.
Yeah,
stage dove to crowd surf.
Yeah.
So we crowd surfed before that, but we never jumped off the stage before.
So we were like 14 and 16 or 14, 15 or something.
I was in a mini skirt.
Yeah.
Crowd surfing.
Like the first time I did it, it went really well, and like like the big guys, they catch you and then they put me down. I was like, perfect. And then the second time I went up, I got so excited, and I just saw Lily in the crowd, so I just I just jumped to Lily, immediately hit the concrete.
She just jumps to me, and I'm not surrounded by anyone.
I was just so excited. I was so excited to be there. A lot of times that's what happens. I'm just happy to be there.
Yeah,
and then I get a little taken away.
There has been a few times when we go into a show and we're like, we're not going in the mosh pit. We're not going in the mosh pit. And then you give me a look. You turn around and you're like, Gremlin style.
It has to be the right song. It has to be the right song. Less thoughts.
Well, we were just younger. We were teenagers.
Yeah, a lot of energy.
Teenage energy.
And
angst.
to say like we're still young people, like we're both under 25. Yeah, under 23. And it's like I think the first show back, like it was one time I moved back to Boston. Yeah. We went and I was like, I just can't do that shit anymore. I got in the pit for one song. So let me the fuck out.
If you're listening to this as a teenager, pace yourself. You don't have to do everything.
No, do it. My mind,
now I'm a boring person.
Yeah, but I'm kind of like, oh, have fun, but like, that's for children.
Get the 21 plus up show, like, damn, y'all are doing children activities, also, even though there's no children there, it feels like that. I'm not trying to catch a grown man.
Like, I don't have the stamina for that. And so that's
why I fucking fake nail off.
Yeah, so that's why we don't mind. We're there for the music, and we still dance. Like, we'd dance in the back. Oh yeah,
we have fun wherever. We also went to a retirement party show. Prince Daddy and retirement party, maybe? No. Took the commuter rail to the Red Line, and then it was into Cambridge. It was at the Sinclair in Cambridge.
Yes.
So it's like, Gracie's like, this is our stop. I'm like, I'm pretty sure we're like 5, 6 stops down. And when you get to the end of the Red Line, it's not like a trolley stop. It's a long distance between stops. Like, you're going over bridges and stuff. Gracie's convinced we're at our stop, so we get off. And as we're getting off, there's some thunderclouds.
We got off like a mile away.
There was intense thunder happening.
I think I just didn't want to be on the train.
Yeah, well then it started downpouring. And we had like 1.3, 1.5 miles to go. After further investigation, screenshots have shown in Instagram captions that we walked 3 miles in the rain. And we literally were running across the bridge in Cambridge, like actually running on all threes. All three. On all threes. All three of us. All three of us were running on all fours. All three of us were running on all fours. Feral to get to the show.
Yeah, right.
We got there right in time. That retirement party was just about to leave their merch booth. And then Avery from retirement party laughed at me because I was in a white tank top with a black bra and I just ran through the rain.
She like signed something for us?
No, she didn't charge me for my shirt.
Oh.
Because I said, I really need a new shirt, so I'll be buying one. And then she laughed.
And then I was like,
she only charged us for one shirt and we got 2.
I was like, oh, we walked here in the rain. She's like, I can tell.
Yeah.
I was like, right.
So let's segue to tattoos.
Yes.
What was your first professional tattoo and your first DIY tattoo?
My first DIY tattoo is one that will not be shown. Is the pumpkin next to my vagina.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that one you can't, because no one ever sees it. So, yeah, that one will have to stay there.
See, that brings up a good point. How many tattoos have I given people in high school that I don't even remember?
A lot, probably.
Probably.
Yeah, Lily, like, and the thing was, she had ordered us, like, a tattoo gun, like, off of Amazon, but we couldn't even wait, so she stick and poked that pumpkin. But honestly, it's like, we always thought, like, oh, stick and poke is kind of faded, it's bad quality, but all my stick and pokes.
I never thought that.
Lily told me that.
That's if you do it, like, the jail way with, like, ballpoint ink pen and a
like,
sewing needle.
We did it with actual, like, tattoo needles, tattoo ink and stuff. Yeah. So, like, it was pretty well done.
My first one's a real, I don't know where it is.
Yeah, but.
Or what it was.
Like, it's pretty, it's bold. And then
she also has poop on her hip.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite tattoo because, like, some people would be like, oh, don't you regret that? No, I don't. And yeah, and me and my friend Julia got them, and I think she's had more times where she's regretted it. Oh, but yeah. I don't really care.
She's very clean girl aesthetic, so having the word poop tattooed on your body is probably not ideal, but it's a hell of a memory, and YOLO as fuck, like,
and it's
whatever.
It's really funny, like, when people see it for the first time, they get really confused. And then my first professional tattoo was the stars behind my ear. My aunt took me on my 18th birthday to get that, and I wanted the stars that were, the stars with the hollow, like the outline of stars. The guy was straight up like, no. Like normal tattoo.
Yeah, but when it's small and you do just the outline, it bleeds together over time. So they don't want their work to look bad in 10 years. But
like, it's a pretty, like I've seen
people have
tons
done
of
it,
people
yeah.
with that tattoo, and I was like, and I feel like it's like in a flash book. Like I feel like you would find it in one. And so he's just like, no, like that won't look good. I'm gonna do this instead. And I was just like, oh. And then I didn't move the whole time. And he was like, wow, like, cause he was being such a dick. And he was like, and like I'm 18, like I was nervous to be there. And then they didn't like actually like my auntie didn't even come back with me. Didn't like it.
This is why I only get my tattoo now. I only get my tattoos from places that have equal male and female or queer employees.
I need some queer people in the mix because it's just almost uncomfortable because even if it's in your head or whatever, but they just make you uncomfortable.
The straight.
I got scared. I need a few they them motherfuckers to feel comfortable.
Oh yeah, for sure. And just historically, like the culture of the tattoo industry is so male driven, and things are changing now.
Yeah.
Thanks to a lot of things, but like social media, people can promote themselves. Female artists can be seen more by other people. Yeah. It's not like, oh, there's only guys in my town at old places that are traditional.
Exactly.
Or like when I went and got my back tattoo, I was wearing a tank top with like a low cut back, and it's on the back of my neck. And he made me like take the straps off my shirt, even though it wasn't in the way at all. And I was with my sister and our friend, so I didn't like feel uncomfortable.
Yeah,
like if I was alone, I would have been like, bye. And then when he went to put the stencil on my back, he like literally choked me out to place a stencil on my neck. I'm like, you don't even have to be touching. When has anyone ever had to like support the back of your arm because they're pushing so hard on you? It's like a gentle thing because they don't want it to smudge.
Yeah. I want like a crocodile.
That'd be sick.
Right there. Because it's a lot of space, I feel like.
Yeah, this is like one of my favorite placements right now.
Yeah,
like, head down here, tail up here, so you can go like this and wiggle the tail.
Or the head, and it's like,
Okay, what's our last topic? So today we're going to wrap up with one little piece of history or knowledge, educational facts. We're going to learn about something from Gracie because she's my little world traveler over here. She's been places, she likes solo travel, she got no fear. She went to Iceland.
I love Iceland.
Can you tell me about Icelandic punk?
Oh, yes! Okay, so I was walking down the streets in Iceland, and all of a sudden I hear some music coming from the underground. And I was like, what is this? And there's just this dark staircase that led to like a hole in the ground. And I was like, I should go down there.
Yeah.
So I go down, and then all of a sudden, it's like all this like crazy papers everywhere, sort of like your room, like all this shit everywhere. And I was like, where am I? And the guy was so mean. He had a green mohawk, and he was like, you want to come in? And I was like, yeah, what is this? He's like, this is the punk museum. And I was like, sure. And so it cost like $5 to go in, and I went in, and it's literally just like one room with a dirty bathroom, and I don't think you're supposed to use the bathroom.
It's just a dive bar bathroom.
It's not even like, it's like just, so the little like underground part, I guess it was like the first public bathroom in Iceland ever. And they turned it into a punk museum. So it was like for like construction workers and stuff like that. Like they would be able to go underground and use the bathroom. I don't know why it turned into the
It was probably a punk venue at some point.
It's not, no, because it's like the size of this room.
Think about basement shows.
I mean, maybe. But so it was really cool because they had like all these guitars hanging, all it, like just like old newspaper articles, all of this. But then I learned that Iceland, because...
Was it the white supremacy punks?
No.
Oh, I got scared because I know they're pale as fuck over there. I was like,
I feel like they're pretty good. Like, when you don't look like them, they know you're not from Iceland.
Yeah.
Which was why one guy, when he read my credit card and he said last name Danielson, he was like, Danielson? He was really confused why my last name was Danielson because I don't look like an Icelandic Danielson.
Swedish or whatever.
And he was like, are you Icelandic? And I was like, oh, I'm Swedish. And I was like, descent. I was like, I didn't want to start talking to me. I was like, obviously, I think once I talked, he knew I was American, but I was like, I got Swedish descent. But you could tell he's really confused, like, why? You don't look like a Swedish.
Why you have tan skin and dark hair?
So, but, it was kind of fun. But what was I trying to say? Oh, but the museum was so cool, and they had all of these things hanging. Oh, wait, no, my fact. You're going to have to cut this.
No, this is all a part of it. This is our educational journey with Gracie.
My fact is so in Iceland, because it's obviously an island.
Yeah.
It's small. And so in 1980s, or was it, maybe a little bit earlier, 19-something, the population started, like, dying because the men, most of them were fishermen or like some type of like seamen or whatever. So either they'd be away for half the year on the boats, or all they would do is because it's cold and there's nothing to do, they would just get drunk all the time. So girls didn't want to like marry men anymore.
Yeah.
Girls were like avoiding men. They didn't want to go into like bars and stuff because there was just all these drunk guys all the time. So the population literally started to decrease because women were actively like, I would rather not reproduce with these drunkards.
That's actually sick.
So the whole country banned beer.
Oh my god.
They banned
They
beer,
said, y'all
they
need to
banned
push
liquor.
out some babies.
Yeah, they banned it because they were like, our population is dying out, all because these men are just constantly getting drunk. And of course, probably there was some like bootleg scene behind them.
Yeah.
But since it made it like way less successful, also because they're on an island.
Yeah.
Like, so it made it like so not accessible. The population started going back up. So then that's what in 1980 they allowed beer again. So I think it started in like 1930 or something. But it was just because the population was dying.
Prohibition in Iceland.
But it wasn't even like, they were just like, we need to get the numbers up.
Like,
They were honest about it.
Can you be a redeemable human?
Yeah,
with
could
attractive
you not
qualities?
be an asshole who's like red in the face. But they do have Icelandic beer, and it was tasted like American beer. Bad.
Fair enough. Alright, well, thank you for being my first talker on this YouTube series.
Thank you.
Soon to be full-blown podcast.
I'm
a pop punk
excited.
podcast, that is.
Pop punk podcast, pop punk